Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It's presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. All right, so today is Tuesday, December 7th, and welcome to the show. And of course, we're live here on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and we're live here on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. And just as a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that share button, hit that like button, and you can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Hey, leave a comment right now, say you're watching the show so I know you're watching it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is also brought to you by Investor Schooling. And if you want to learn all about how you can become a real estate investor or a stock options trader or anything you want to know about financial literacy, you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. All right, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing on the show today. Of course, we're going to be talking about the futures update. Hey, we're going to be talking about another dictator. That's right, Dictator de Blasio. We're going to be talking about Jack in the Box tacos. That's interesting. We're going to be talking about Tesla's solar panel fires. And right after that, we'll be talking about natural gas price drops. I don't know, there's somehow the two connected. We're going to also be talking about who invented Bitcoin. We're going to find out who it really was. And we're going to be talking about the Toyota battery plant. And of course, how apartment rents are going to a new high. We were just discussing that this morning, actually. My producer and I, Pedro, were discussing that. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the futures. Yesterday was awesome. What a beautiful day it was yesterday. Look, I don't know what you were in yesterday. If you were in any markets at all or any sectors at all, you were up. Look, I had been saying to buy the travel sector, buy the travel sector, and it was the biggest winner yesterday as this travel stocks jumped about 10%, and they're on fire this morning too. I took a look. Look, if you're in stocks, it's a great thing, but if you're a stock options trader like me, yesterday was a fantastic day. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in the Dow right now. The Dow Futures are up 350 points. That's awesome, especially after yesterday. Yesterday was great. The S&P is up 61 points, and the NASDAQ, the NASDAQ is up almost 300 points. That's fantastic. Let's do it, man. All right, I got a couple of people saying hi online. We got hi Eric, and we got Mick out there, and Mick is saying that he was jumping all over AAL and made a whole lot of money. That's fantastic. All right, let's talk a little bit about the latest dictator. So yesterday, I don't know if you guys remember, but I railed against Sam Spicer, and Sam Spicer is the guy at WWDB who I guess is making me famous by putting me on the air in the morning for a station that has 7 listeners. But anyway, he was complaining that I said certain things on the air, and if you haven't heard the episode, you need to go back to my Facebook page or go back to the podcast on WWDB and listen to it. Because one of the things that I mentioned that he was upset about was I used the phrase Gestapo Joe. And we all know who Gestapo Joe is, right? And of course, Sam Spicer didn't like it. Well, you know, what do you expect? He's a liberal, right? But now, you need to understand that Gestapo Joe now has a new Nazi dictator friend named Bill de Blasio, and he's joining the Gestapo Joe regime. And of course, I'm sure there will soon be Dictator Kenny in Philadelphia as well, of course, right? So I want to make sure that Sam Spicer knows the meaning of Gestapo according to the dictionary. The meaning of Gestapo is a secret police organization employing underhanded and terroristic methods against persons suspected of disloyalty. Now, the loyalty I'm referring to in this segment is the loyalty of guess what? The vaccine. All hail Dr. Fauci and his vaccine. The Gestapo in this case are the people forcing the fascist ideas of a vaccine and forcing people to take a vaccine that clearly doesn't work, and of course forcing people to wear a mask that absolutely does nothing. Don't believe me? I'm going to give you 2 great examples. Did you know that all the people diagnosed with the the Omicron variant were actually vaccinated? So far, we haven't heard a report of anyone who's been unvaccinated who's been diagnosed with Omicron. Just think about that. Look it up. I'm telling you, look it up. As far as masks go, look that up too. I defy you to find a real experiment that proves they actually work. You won't. In fact, I've done this, and actually if you want to go to followtherealscience.com, you'll find a real experiment that proves that they really don't work. All right, now getting back to Dictator de Blasio and the Gestapo leader in New York, He's announced a vaccine mandate covering all businesses. That's right, the mandate covers 184,000 businesses and will go into effect right after Christmas, December 27th. Actually, this might be a good thing, because if you bought something for Christmas, you can't return it unless you're vaccinated. That might be a good thing for business. But anyway, get this. It does not give unvaccinated employees the option to get tested regularly, de Blasio said. So basically, you have to get a vaccine or you can't work. That sounds like a Gestapo Nazi move to me. Anyway, they must have at least one dose by that date. The policy applies to in-person employees who are in a workplace with other coworkers. And this is what de Blasio said during a press conference. Do you guys remember the damage that the terrorists did to New York when they destroyed the Twin Towers? Well, that was peanuts compared to the damage that this idiot, and also the other idiot, the sex abuser, Cuomo did and destroyed that city. But I do have to tell you, if that dictator comes over here and tells me that my employees or students need to be vaccinated or masked to enter my private place of business, you will definitely find me transmitting this show from a jail cell. All right. Dictator Blasio will also require everyone 12 and older to show proof of 2 vaccine doses, as opposed to 1 dose under the prior policy for indoor dining, fitness, entertainment, and performance venues. So unless you're doubly vaccinated, you can't even enjoy life. That's right, you can't enjoy life. It's unbelievable. Look, if New Yorkers actually abide by this policy, they deserve what they get. By the way, do you remember when de Blasio actually said he would round up all the Jews and put them in jail if they continued to meet for weddings and funerals? If you don't, look it up, because it's the truth. That's what he said. And then now you completely understand that New York City has fallen to this Nazi dictator. Just wait, Philadelphia, you're next. By the way, the Supreme Leader, Gestapo Joe, already tried a vaccine mandate, and it was overturned in the 5th Circuit Court and the 6th Circuit Court. And it's going to the Supreme Court, and it's going to lose there. Hey, de Blasio, when the people of New York actually wake up from their COVID coma and realize how you've been treating them, you're in big trouble. I have little hope for the new mayor, Mayor Adams. I bet he won't be any better. But as for me, I hate New York. All right, let's get into some real financial topics. Let's talk a little bit about Jack in the Box. So Jack in the Box is buying Del Taco in a $575 million stock grab. I remember being a kid and being one of the only people who actually liked Jack in the Box. The local Jack in the Box was, I used to go there as a kid in Brooklyn, and it closed decades ago, and I always remembered them being empty. When I see how the company has grown and the fact that they bought Del Taco, well, it actually amazes me. So, first of all, Del Taco is the 2nd largest taco or Mexican fast food brand, second to Taco Bell, which is owned by Yum Brands. The combined company will have more than 2,800 locations across 25 states. I'd like to see them here. That'd be great. The purchase is expected to close the first 3 months of 2022, and Del Taco stock actually shot up 65% yesterday. Now, Jack in the Box stock was down about 4%, but we'll see how this unwinds in a few weeks. I often wait to see if these mergers actually happen. You know, sometimes they don't. If you remember, we talked about the PayPal and Pinterest one that I said wasn't going to happen, and sure enough it didn't. But I actually think this will happen, and it could be a play, but we'll watch and see. Personally, I think the deal's going to happen, so I definitely wouldn't bet against it. All right, let's talk a little bit about Tesla and solar panel buyers. All right, I read the headline in an article about the Securities and Exchange Commission investigating the fact that Tesla failed to disclose to its shareholders the possibility, and many fires their panels have started. All right. So they're basically saying that their solar panels have started fires, and this is true. I've seen articles on it. But when I read the article that talked about the SEC investigation, it described that a whistleblower. By the way, did you notice how often the word whistleblower is used after the fake Trump impeachment? Anyway, yes, I know it's been around for a while, but I never heard it being used so often. Anyway, the whistleblower, Steve Hanks, a former Tesla field quality manager, asked the agency to investigate the fact that Tesla did not disclose the potential of fires from their solar panels. I continued to read the article looking for some indication that the whistleblower or the SEC even cared a little bit about the homes and businesses these panels could could have been installed on, and I found nothing but a statistic. The statistic said that more than 60,000 residential customers in the U.S. and 500 government and commercial accounts were affected by the issue. So what does that mean? Does that mean they had fires? Or does that mean that they had solar panels installed that could go on fire? But of course, then we go into the article, and it reflects the fact that Mr. Hanks is a disgruntled, terminated employee, and has filed a lawsuit against Tesla for wrongful termination. Why is it always that the whistleblowers are always disgruntled employees? Anyway, what does it all mean? Probably nothing. It probably means that this guy will get a big payoff to shut him up, and the problem is not really all that bad. However, look, several residential customers or their insurers have sued Tesla and their parts supplier, Amphenol. So this is interesting. Amphenol makes the connections that are actually at risk. And they sued Amphenol over the fires related to their solar systems. According to these documents provided by legal transparency group called Plainsight. But here's the interesting thing. It's going to be an ongoing story. I'll try to keep you informed. But Tesla's stock barely moved yesterday, and I'm sure it was because of this news. But on the other hand, this parts supplier Amphenol's stock price actually rose 1.5%. If you want to look that stock up, the symbol is APH. Amazing that it's like not even moving. All right, real quick, before we go to a commercial, I want to talk about natural gas. So here's some good news for those heating their homes. And heating their homes, of course, with natural gas. The price dropped yesterday about 10%. The news is reporting the reason, believe it or not, is warmer temperatures than expected. Maybe there really is global warming. Oh no, that means I might have to sell my jackets. Anyway, the natural gas price hit more than a 7-year high of $6.46 per million British thermal unit on October 6. Remember how high that was? But the declines have been swift, and last week's drop between Monday and Thursday was the worst 4-day drop in a quarter century. Pretty wild. All right, the losses come after November 15th's 15.8% decline, which was the worst month of the year. But this, it's the worst month for the gas suppliers, but it's great, of course, for consumers. But the current price is now $3.68 per million British thermal unit. And that's about 40% decline, and of course it's good news for residents heating their homes. The news has not discussed the possibility of the scary, dreaded Omicron variant as a reason, but I suspect it did play a part in the decrease. Oil is still hovering about $72 a barrel and will probably stabilize there for a while as oil-producing nations, everywhere but America, because, brain dead, close them all down. Anyway, pay anywhere but America. The price will start going down, and as other people, it'll start going up as the other countries start to gouge us in the future. Look, all I can say here is, let's go, Brandon. Hey, Sam Spicer, is that okay? Is it okay if I say, let's go, Brandon? All right, let's take a quick break, and we will see you in about a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or you can call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. And of course, thank you for listening on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit the share button. Help your friends learn about making more money by hitting that share button. I want to say hello to a couple people online. Hey, Tommy. Hey, Eric. Hey, Charles. Hey, Bill. I want to thank you all for listening and watching. I really appreciate that. Of course, hit that like button and let me know that you enjoy the show, and keep leaving those comments because I love reading them. All right, let's get into a little bit about what we're going to be talking about so far. We've been talking about the fact that the futures actually are right now, they're still up about 350. We've been talking about the S&P is also up about 60 and the NASDAQ almost 300. We talked about dictator de Blasio and his Nazi regime in New York. I can't wait till Sam Spicer calls me tomorrow. We've been talking about Jack in the Box buying Del Taco. We've been talking about Tesla's solar panels going on fire. And of course, natural gas prices are dropping. All right, we're going to be talking about who invented Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about the Toyota battery plant and apartment rents being at a new high. That's kind of cool, especially if you're a real estate investor. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin. So imagine being the brilliance behind the cryptocurrency craze. Imagine if you did such a good job hiding your name as well that you know how to prove that you were in fact the inventor. Well, recently, a Miami jury ruled in favor of Craig Wright. That's right, Craig Wright. Huh, he claimed to invent Bitcoin. What? I thought it was Satoshi Nakamoto. Didn't you? Hey, yes, Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto was the name on all the documents, including the white paper describing how Bitcoin would work and how it would assimilate into the world as a worldwide currency. Well, the court case basically revolved around the fact that Craig Wright, had a partner named David Kleiman. Now, Kleiman has since passed away, and his family was suing Wright for what is about, you ready for this? 1.1 million Bitcoins. Think about that. That's around $54 billion worth of Bitcoin. The prosecution argued that Kleiman was a co-creator of Bitcoin along with Wright, and that entitled him to half of Satoshi's assumed fortune, right? So a federal jury in West Palm Beach sided with Wright and declined to award any of the Bitcoin to Kleiman's estate. That's insane. It's amazing. I mean, could you imagine fighting over $54 billion that 10 years ago didn't exist? Wow. I'm just wondering if there was any settlement offers in the case before it started. I'm really also curious to see what kind of information comes up and what else is going to happen, because this is wild. But the biggest part of the story is the mystery behind who really invented Bitcoin. I don't know, but Satoshi Nakamoto definitely sounds cooler than Craig Wright. So anyway, I'll refer to Craig as Natoshi either way. All right, let's talk about Toyota opening a battery plant. Hey, do you remember when you bought a Ford and it was actually made in America, and when you bought a Toyota, it was made in Japan? Well, we all know that, of course, Ford is being built in Mexico, and now, of course, that nonsense has been over for a long time, because, in fact, the only president to get Ford to move back to producing cars in America was, guess who? Donald Trump. And then as soon as he left, they moved back into Mexico. Unbelievable. Anyway, it appears that Toyota is now building a new battery plant in North Carolina. That's interesting, right? So Toyota expects the facility to be capable of producing enough lithium-ion batteries for 200,000 all-electric and plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, and the production is scheduled to begin in 2025. The company said it plans to eventually expand battery production up to 1.2 million vehicles per year, and the plant is expected to create 1,750 jobs in the state. So that's kind of neat too. So thanks to Japanese for creating jobs. We know that the current administration can't. All they do is replace the ones that they made everybody leave. But thank you, Toyota, for creating 1,750 jobs. So anyway, the reason they picked this area in North Carolina is an attempt to run the plant on all renewable energy, such as solar power. Look, Toyota has committed to reaching carbon neutrality for its vehicles and operations by 2050. I'm actually looking forward to seeing carbon neutrality. I just want to see how funny it's going to be. I mean, I actually agree with the concept, but think about it, right? You know, carbon neutrality means that there'll be zero emissions, zero waste, zero problems. That could never happen. There's always going to be some kind of waste. Even the fact that these batteries go bad and they have to be buried somewhere. All right, let's talk about apartment rents. If you're a landlord in this new inflation crazy year, you are making much more money than you did in the past. In fact, apartment occupancy hit a new high of 97.5% in November. The rate is up roughly 250 basis points from the long-term norm of about 95% going back over the past 3 decades. This simply means that the supply of apartments is limited, and you know the story about supply and demand, so the rents are going up quickly. In fact, the annual increase in asking for rents for move-in, in other words, asking for new move-ins, the annual increase has hit 13.9% in November. I got to tell you, that's an enormous number, and certainly one has landlord. As a landlord, I own several dozen houses, and I'm certainly happy to have that increase. It's awesome. Of course, the real estate market is also driving prices of houses up about 20% year over year, and that's also an amazing number, and that's part of the reason too. Now we have people who are afraid to buy, and at what they perceive as a top of the market, so they're renting. And guess what? They're renting at the top of the rental market. They lose no matter what. But hey, come to me, I'll rent you more places. We also have the end of the mortgage payment moratorium looming for some as the end of the year. So many have taken advantage of no mortgage payments, even when they had no issues paying. Like I had been saying this the whole time it was offered. How much of a mistake is this for homeowners to utilize? Now, many will start paying the bill, so they have gotten used to paying it. They haven't gotten used to paying it for last year. Anyway, let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about some of the cool stock picks I've got going on for you.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And hey, we're going to be talking about today's picks and plays. But did you guys online hit that share button yet? Did you hit the like button? Let everybody know what great stock plays are coming by sharing this information. And of course, you could share on your page or groups that you feel will benefit from great stock plays. And of course, you can leave comments. I want to say hello to Joe, who's joined us online as well. And of course, if you're listening on WWDB, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about politics behind the stock market. All right, hey, you guys, yesterday was the day, man. Yesterday was beautiful. I've been saying it over and over again. I've been saying travel stocks were the way to go, and they were to play. And look, here's the deal. Here's why. The moronic variant, for those who don't know, it's an anagram from, the anagram for Omicron is moronic, and it's proven not to be much of a threat. Each article starts off with the person had mild symptoms, and that's basically why it's not going to be that bad, and that's why we're seeing all the stocks, all the travel stocks, AAL, CCL, RCL, all moving up. All right, and of course, you'll see if you get in now, you will definitely make money on it. All right, the best part, of course, is that people are fighting back against all the people and all the dictators, and maybe that will make the travel stock even continue up. I'm also going to tell you that Meta was another big winner yesterday. Meta is Facebook, for those of you who don't know, and I would say to continue to watch it because it's probably going to move back into the 350 range probably pretty quickly. So I would suggest that you take a look at that. Many of the tech stocks are also showing nice recovery. As you know, the NASDAQ is right now, it's up 285 points, and that's a great place to be. I'm going to tell you right now, NASDAQ is the place, and I also like Apple. I would say look for Apple to pop over 170, possibly even by the end of the week. Apple, real quick, if I can get it real quick on it, I can't get, I can't get it real quick. Okay, but Apple is doing a really good job, so Apple will be a good play. I would tell you to get into that as well. And hey, there's some good stuff going on there. By the way, I did notice that the vaccine stocks are moving down again. So if the vaccine stocks are moving down, watch for Moderna to drop below 200. And you know what you're going to do then? You're going to wait and listen for the new variant to be discovered. That's right. When Moderna drops below 200, the new variant will be discovered because we'll need to drive Moderna's stock back up. And that's really the reality. Don't believe me? Take a look at when the Omicron BS started, and you'll actually see that it started right around when McDermott dropped really low into the really low 200s. Of course, crypto is inching back, and Bitcoin is once again over 50,000. Ethereum is back over 4,400, and my little guys like Shiba haven't moved much higher since Friday's flash crash, but at least it isn't moving down. I'm going to tell you that gold and silver are also settling into a nice range right now, so you might want to be there. If you want to be in gold and silver, it wouldn't be a bad play. The Treasury bond is pretty stable, and look, that's a good sign. So when the Treasury bond is stable, that means, of course, that tech stocks are going to stabilize or go up. Remember, when the Treasury bond goes up, when the rates on the Treasury bond goes up, tech stocks go down. So that's a good sign that they're starting to settle out. Hey, once again, if you've been listening on WWDB, don't forget to hit the preset button and save this and listen every day at 7:30. And of course, we look forward to your continued support because that's what we do here. We're having fun. If you're on Facebook, if you're watching online on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or YouTube, I also want to thank you for watching and continued support. I see I have my favorite listeners, as usual, coming on, and thank you so much for leaving comments. I really appreciate it. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And you can also listen to replays of this on www.am.com. All right, did you guys hit that share button? Did you hit that like button? And, of course, you should know that from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show are solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. All right, I want to thank you all for watching and listening, and I'll see you tomorrow, and have a profitable day.